Finding an apartment here in Spain as a foreigner can feel a little intimidating. Especially when you just moved to the country, you barely speak the language, you don't have a Spanish work contract, and you honestly have no idea how the whole rental process works. That was basically us, but somehow we figured it out. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire experience step by step of how we found our first apartment here in Spain. Plus, a few things we learned along the way that I wish we knew before we started. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Lori and welcome to the Sheras. My husband and I just recently moved here in Valencia, Spain, so obviously, one of the first things we needed was somewhere to call home. If you saw the previous video, then you went apartment hunting with us as we toured different apartments here in Valencia. And if you're wondering how we actually found those apartments and what the entire rental process was like for us, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, I do want to say that everything that I'll be sharing here was based on our personal experience renting here in Valencia. So, rental requirements can be different depending on the landlord, agency, city, and of course, the rental contract you'll be signing. So, think of our experience as a starting point for your own research and not a legal advice. With that out of the way, let's start with the beginning. Know what you're looking for. Before you even start messaging landlords, I highly recommend sitting down and figuring out what your non-negotiables are. For us, we wanted somewhere close to the city center, at least one bedroom, lots of natural light, air conditioning, and semi or fully furnished. And because we're also planning to stay long-term, we wanted to find a long-term lease with padron. So having this list made our apartment hunting so much easier. Because instead of getting distracted by every beautiful apartment, having this list made us narrow down exactly what works for us. Next is to set a realistic budget. So since we have never rented in Spain before, we honestly have no idea what was considered expensive or affordable. So we spent a lot of time browsing through listings of apartments in our preferred areas to see how much it actually costs. So for us, we initially set up a budget of 1,000 euros per month. But something that we learned pretty quickly is that your monthly rent is not the only amount that you should prepare. There can also be a security deposit or additional guarantees depending on your situation or contract, utility arrangement, and other move-in costs. So I'll break down what we personally paid later in the video. My biggest advice here is that don't calculate your budget whether you can afford the monthly rent, because you also need enough money available for the move-in cost. Next is start searching for apartments. For our apartment search, the main platform that we use is Idealista. So you can search based on the city, area, pricing, number of bedrooms, and based on the criteria you're looking for. So one thing that also helped us was completing our tenant profile. So I added information about us, how many people will be living in the apartment, our overall household income, and a short introduction about us as tenants. I also made sure to put a Spanish contact number. This is super helpful because it's like you're introducing yourself to a landlord or agent before they even met you. So once we found an apartment that we like, I will send them a message through Idealista and ask to schedule a viewing. Now this is where things started to get interesting. Be ready to communicate. So some people replied directly through Idealista, while some message our Spanish contact number through WhatsApp, and some just called us, which was probably one of the things that I was most nervous about because we barely spoke Spanish. For messages, it was pretty easy because I'll just use a translator and communicate via Idealista or WhatsApp. Phone calls were obviously a little challenging, so I just prepared a simple script in Spanish saying, "Sorry, I speak little Spanish. Do you speak in English?" So some agents spoke in English while some didn't. And if we couldn't really understand each other through phone, I would just send them a message if we can continue the conversation through WhatsApp. It can definitely feel uncomfortable at first, but somehow you'll figure out a way to communicate. Now, schedule the viewing. So here, we really arrive early to really inspect the whole neighborhood and apartment. Here, we really looked into the overall condition of the apartment, if it has natural light, windows, air conditioning, clothing, appliances, and basically every little thing that could affect your life, especially if you live there every day. Something we learned very quickly was how apartments move fast. So one of the very first apartment that we viewed was the perfect example. So we were scheduled to be the second viewing that day, but by the time it was our turn, we were told that the first person who viewed it already have decided to take it. That was super shocking to us because everything happened so quickly. So if you genuinely love the apartment, it definitely helps to express your interest right away. But here's the important part. Don't let pressure make you ignore the red flags. A great apartment getting taken so quickly can feel frustrating, but getting stuck in the wrong apartment or even falling for a scam is worse. Next is to prepare your documents. So once you finally decide that you're interested in the apartment, the landlord or agency wants to know if you're financially capable to pay the rent. So the exact documents that they ask can vary. In our experience, they ask for our identification, which is our passports, proof of employment, or income. And this is where sometimes being a foreigner can make things a little more complicated. In our case, we didn't have a Spanish work contract, so some landlords and agencies wanted to have that additional reassurance that we can reliably pay rent. Depending on your situation, some landlord may require additional financial guarantees or use a rent default insurance that requires a financial assessment of you as a tenant. So this is actually one of the things that we encountered during our apartment search. So basically, your financial profile may be reviewed whether you qualify whatever the condition the landlord or the insurers require. But again, this varies from one apartment to the other. So we viewed apartments where the requirements were a bit more complicated and others where the process is pretty much straightforward. Next is to understand the contract before you pay. This is probably one of the most important parts out of this entire process. Before signing anything, make sure to understand what type of rental contract you're getting. So a long-term contract compared to a temporary or seasonal one can have different rules and protections. So read the contract carefully and ask questions. So make sure to understand what exactly you're signing or paying for. If you're like us who doesn't fully understand Spanish yet, make sure to ask the landlord or the agent to send you the digital copy of the contract in advance. That way, you don't feel pressure to fully understand a complete legal document in Spanish while they are waiting for you to sign it. You can take your time, fully translate it, and read through everything carefully. That way, if there's anything that you don't fully understand, you still have time to ask questions before signing. So basically, don't be afraid to ask for the contract in advance. Give yourself enough time to understand it and know exactly what you're agreeing to before you sign or pay for anything. Next is to understand your utility arrangement. Another important thing to ask before signing is how the utilities are handled. So it's your water, electricity, internet, or even gas? Are they already active or are they already included on your rent? Will you put the contracts under your name or will they temporarily remain under your landlord's name? I think this is very important to ask, especially if you're newcomers like us. When we first arrived here in Spain, we're still on the process of getting our Spanish documents sorted out. We didn't have our NIAN number or even our Spanish bank accounts yet. So when you're viewing apartments, it is important to explain your situation so you can ask your landlord or agent what are the options available for you. In our particular case, our utilities remained under our landlord. Our landlord had us put a €500 prepaid utility fund, and that fund will be used towards our electricity, water, and internet. And later, once we have our Spanish documentation and banking sorted out, we can already work to changing our utilities to our name. But I want to emphasize that this is simply our arrangement for our apartment. This is not a standard rule that everyone renting in Spain will experience. That's why the important thing is asking about this before moving in. That way, you already know how's your water, electricity, and internet will will be handled from day one. Next is to prepare your move-in cost. Now, let's talk about what we personally paid. So our apartment rent is 995 euros per month, and for our specific rental agreement, we paid 995 euros deposit, 995 euros for the first month's rent, 995 euros for the agency fee, and also a 500 euro prepaid utility fund that I mentioned earlier. For our specific situation, I think this is pretty straightforward because they didn't ask for month's rent in advance. And this is also where I wanted to be clear. Our exact payment structure should not be treated as a standard. What you legally owe and what fees can be charged to you heavily depend on the type of rental contract you'll be signing. So before you start apartment hunting, my advice is to prepare extra money for your move-in costs. And last is to sign, pay, and get your keys. Once everything is approved and you're comfortable to sign the contract, it's time to officially secure your new home. For us, the safest way to do this is to coordinate your contract signing, payment, and key handover all at the same day. We weren't personally comfortable to pay anything without signing any contract or receiving the keys. My advice here is you should not send any money just because someone is pressuring you that you'll lose the apartment. So after a week of searching, messaging people, translating conversations, viewing apartments, gathering documents, and trying to figure out a completely unfamiliar rental process, we finally had somewhere to call home. And that's our step-by-step guide in finding an apartment here in Spain. So this is based on our personal experience renting here in Valencia. I really hope this helps to those of you who are planning to move to Spain, or for those of you who are already here and currently looking for your own place. And if you're curious about starting a life here in Spain, drop your comments down below. I'm always happy to help and share our personal experience to you guys. And if you haven't watched our apartment hunting video, feel free to watch it next, linked in our description down below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss out our upcoming videos. For more behind-the-scenes adventures, don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Laurely Shera and at BJ Shera. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.